Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It's a Friday fun day from Ten Palms at Gulfstream Park, but you'll notice that I am not at Ten Palms, but Jeff Defo DeForest, the legendary Tony Segreto, and of course Mike Lubie Lubitz, they are there. I am stuck in a corner. I guess we're going to call it the quarantine quarter. I don't think that term is still used anymore, but there is somebody in my world that has actually come down with a case of COVID. I didn't know that was still a thing in 2025, but apparently it is. And because of that, and even though I have no symptoms and I tested negative this morning, and I think according to the CDC, I am allowed to go out and roam around in the world, but out of an abundance of caution, because, you know, I am being around people that I care about, and they are, I guess, in their elder years. I don't want to say that, but, you know, it's just I'm being cautious. And so I'm here, but you guys are there. Defo, and how are you today?
Couldn't be better. Having a great day. Was out there schwitzing, doing a walk of life. And I realized that I am now that guy that's driving 20 miles on I-95. No, not 20 miles an hour, but 20 miles in the middle lane with my left signal on.
Oh, no.
And it hit me as I got to Pembroke Road that maybe I should shut this thing off. But by then it was time to make a left. So it was great.
Yes.
At that point, you know, it's we all become our parents at some point. And
We do.
it creeps up in strange ways. But Tony Segreto, how are you doing today?
I am doing fine and dandy. I told Lubie that last Friday when I was eating my lunch, I cracked my tooth in half.
What?
Yes.
Wait, there at Gulfstream?
Yes.
You
And
could
I,
own a piece of the track.
and I had to have it pulled yesterday.
Oh no!
The remaining
What
part.
was the offending item? Or we're not going to cast any blame or
No.
aspersions on anybody,
I
but
just, it was just ready to go, I guess. And,
Yep.
And boom. So I'm on heavy antibiotics and I'm on the mend. So
well, I do that now, like especially when I get served lobster at Juan's Mandarin house that we were at the other day, and he brings up those lobsters, and I just start chewing on the shells and everything. That's not good for the teeth. I've cracked a few teeth in my time. It's called, occupational hazard in my
Yes.
line of work, but
Yes.
that's no fun. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. They're going to put in a what do they call it? One of those crowns or
Yes.
yeah. Okay. So well.
So
I'm sorry to hear that, but
that's okay.
we have you sign waivers before coming
Yeah,
on the show. We absolve any and all any and all Lunchbox sponsors from any kind of harm that may result in the consumption of food. Lubie, how are you doing today? I know you've got a big weekend ahead. We will talk more about it after the weekend. Right?
Doing well. The heat is here.
It's
just hard.
It's
like,
terrible. Isn't
It's
it?
just hard. Like it's just I find myself, and I get it, I'm already a bitter man. I own that, but I find myself being bitter upon bitter. I like even when I'm in a good mood, you walk like just walking from the car inside, and the air conditioning was the greatest feeling I've had in a long time. Just walking into Ten Palms, and they actually have a nice crowd, and I can see why. Like you don't want to be anywhere outside right now. Like so, hopefully the rains that are supposed to come because we need it. Like this heat feels like August. Like it's really
it all came upon like a blast furnace all of a sudden, and just when we thought the Miami Heat was done, the actual South Florida Heat is here for the season, and also almost we're a week away from the official start of hurricane season. And Defo, I don't know how you feel about this, but one of the things that enrages me about being in the media here, or I used to be in the media, I don't know what I am anymore, but every year that freaking hurricane prediction, it's like, is there anything more mundane or predictable than they're going to come out with the forecast for an above average season with 19 to 22 named storms and 5 of them possibly major. I mean, it's like that every year. I could say the same thing about the Dolphins. Might go anywhere from 8 and 9 to 10 and it's just, it drives me nuts, but I guess it's one of the hazards of living in South Florida.
It's the same thing as last year, the year before last, the year before that, the year before that, and the year before that.
And when did they ever come out? And because not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, although that's all the rage these days, but I am a cynic, and I think that actually these guys that were at Colorado State University for a while, that Klotzbach and whatever, I don't know, it was that they actually, their whole research department is funded by the insurance industry, so they have an interest. When was the last time you said we're going to have kind of a really dull, below average season that basically most of the storms are going to curve away from the mainland U.S. coast? You never see that, even though that happens many years, including like the last few. Now, we've had some storms, and here's what I would predict every year. Hey, it's hurricane season. Storms might form, and there's a chance that the big one might come this year. Hopefully it won't. That's it, and you just be prepared. But instead, they come up with these stupid numbers and these stupid odds. And because the insurance companies are always able to drive up their rates and the reinsurance rates go up if they're predicting heavy storm activity, this is why you never see a below average season predicted. And all right, that's my spiel for the day. Damn you, weathermen. How come you can't even get it right 24 hours in advance? How are they going to predict things from 6 months out? But that's it. All right, let's go on to happier talk. The Heat, as in Miami Heat, are done, but the Panthers most certainly are not. And you can see I'm wearing my chuck around and find out shirt.
That was a heck of a win last night.
Defo, did you watch it from start to finish?
I don't think you had to. I think it was pretty much over after they reversed that goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Lubie's favorite rule, the delayed offsides call off instant replay. And if you think about it, you always talk about turning points in games. Had they gone ahead, let's say that the Hurricane player had not touched the puck after it went out of the zone, then with the challenge, you would have had a 3-1 game with the Carolina Hurricanes on a power play.
Yes.
Right.
Instead, it remained 3-0. And the Panthers are just playing great. So it's nice to see. Can't imagine. I mean, we had 3 straight Super Bowls going back to the Shula years in the 70s, early 70s. Tony was on hand for that. And we might have 3 straight Stanley Cup final appearances, which we're well on our way to doing. And that's remarkable. I don't think anybody could have conceived of that at the beginning of the franchise.
It's remarkable. You're right, Defo. It's remarkable that they're on the cusp of that right now.
Yeah, and let's not count our chickens, though, because we've seen in hockey where road teams can win. And I even think earlier this playoff season, we saw, I guess, the home teams lost all 4 of the first games and ended up being tied 2-2. Was that the case at the Lightning series?
The first round.
Yeah, the first round. The Lightning
went up 2-0 and then split down here.
Yeah, so you just look. It is a decisive looking 2 games. In the same way, I think that the Knicks are completely done and cooked after blowing that game 1, and they will not win another game. They're going to be swept.
Can we quote you on that, Michael?
Yeah, you can. And I also think Carolina has the look of a team that just can't compete. And, once that goal was taken off the board, I mean, hey, Lubie, it's nice when the stupid rule actually works out in your team's favor. And that one was a little bit more bang, bang. It wasn't like it was 20 or 30 seconds after the fact.
That's what was saying, and he's not wrong. Like, it was around offsides-ish. Then they went and scored.
Yeah, it was.
I get the idea of the rule, and he's not wrong. Like, guys like Pavel Bure would have just stood on the other end the whole game and never left if he didn't have an offside rule. I understand it. It's just like the one with the Panthers, it's like 2 minutes later.
Right.
Look, I get it. People deal with it. Like, I'll give the Hurricane players credit. The fans didn't know what was going on because it's Carolina. It's like our fans down here who don't know hockey at all. They're like, that's a rule. But the players and the coach did not look. They were like, dang.
So do you think, like, does Bobrovsky, I know technically he gets credit for a shutout, but is that with an asterisk because he did allow a goal even if it was called back on a chintzy rule? Or
I think so.
Yeah, he was strong. He made some good saves, and they just they have every component going. I mean, offense, defense, goaltending. They're scoring on power plays. Last night they got production from their top players in the top line, and Bennett with 2 goals, and Barkov with a goal. I mean, it's just so much fun to watch. And like you said, Defo, it's like appreciate it while it's here, because so many times people want to nitpick, and Lubie was ready to fire Bobrovsky again after he gave up. I mean, let's just kind of enjoy the ride, and you don't know when a team like this will be assembled again. I mean, in the middle of the whole LeBron era, I was like saying, this is something. I mean, I'm glad that what's his face hit that shot, right?
Ray Allen.
Yeah, Ray Allen. If he doesn't hit that shot, then all of a sudden that team, they don't win 2 titles in 4 years. They might not win any, but just enjoy it. I love watching this team. I'm going on Monday night, so I am rooting for a sweep now. I actually, because my daughter is back in town for the summer. She's going to be back from the Keys, because she's living a life of leisure now. She's going from Barcelona to the Keys for a week, and then we're going to the West Coast to California and Oregon next month for a full week. But in between, I did score some tickets, and I didn't even have to make any phone calls. What is wrong with me? I'm actually paying going on.
What is wrong? Oh my God! Stop the presses.
I don't know anybody anymore, and the people I do know don't like me, so there's no point in going through any kind of back channels. I just went onto that SeatGeek app, which is I guess the Panthers official ticket site, by Ticketmaster, and you go onto SeatGeek, and I bought some tickets, people looking to make a little bit of a profit, and my daughter is so spoiled though. What would you do, Tony, if your daughter says, I'm not sitting in the 300 level, I need 100 or better?
I'm going to tell her, well,
to a conference finals game.
That's the only seat available.
Well, her conditions were it's got to be club level or lower.
Really?
So, yeah. And look,
I don't know what the hell you've done. 300 isn't even that. I've sat. Look, the Hard Rock Stadium. If you're up top, it's hard to see the field. But the Panthers Arena, if you're up top, it's not impossible. It's not. The seats aren't that bad. The 300 level is below that. 300 level is really nice. I've watched games in the 300 level.
I thought that is the 300, the upper.
Is it? I don't think so.
The lower parts are good, because I've sat sometimes in those handicap seats, because I'm a terrible human being, where somebody gave me the seats that have they're right on the aisle, and there are 2 of them, and those are on the lower part of the 300 level, and those are great seats. But I ended up getting in section 115, row 20 something. I hope that's up to her standards. But yeah, whatever. Sometimes you get to shell out the money. And my my rationalization was this: if I I didn't spend $1,000 a head on a dinner the other week, but if other people are willing to spend that much money on food, and I blow money at the track and poker tournaments, why not have a nice dad-daughter night where I will shell out 6 sticks for a couple of seats in the 100 level? And let's face it, it's you got to take these opportunities when they arise.
Well, Defo talks about the Marlins World Series when he went with the Jets, man.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of money, and they chose to go. Again, they could be clinching a shot at a 3rd straight Stanley Cup Finals. Again, 5 years ago, we would joke openly, it's November 8th. Are they mathematically eliminated?
Right.
This is not 10 years ago. This is 5 years ago. Yes, 4 years ago, they got to the playoffs, and then they were the President's Trophy, and then but literally 5 years ago, I remember doing shows going, hockey? What is hockey? So to see that the organization have a chance to go to 3 straight Stanley Cups, look, making memories the stupid commercials, the MasterCard commercials, they're not wrong. You can get more money, you can't get more time.
There's a guy who just walked to the betting windows behind you who's giving us the fish, the stink eye. He looks like Yul Brynner or something like that. I don't know if
it is Yul Brynner.
The King and I is in the. They're having a revival of the King and I at Ten Palms today. Defo, when you went to those Marlins World Series games with your son, did you get those through back channels? Did you? How much did you pay for those?
Oh, well, here was the deal. I actually was involved with the former hockey star who owned the Penalty Box Lounge, Rosie Paymont, and a friend of mine, and we bought season tickets to the original Marlins season, and we had them as a 3-way partnership. And it turned out I had the tickets for Game 7 right behind home plate, 10 rows behind home plate, 2 rows behind the founders seats. They were face value $14.50 in the regular season. I think the World Series tickets might have been $20-something.
Oh, wow.
We could have gotten $1,500, I think, for the pair back then. This was '97. That was a lot of money. And I told my son, I said, look, we can go to the game, or we can sell these for $1,500, and you can have the $1,500. And he said, let's go to the game. And let's face it, that was one of the most memorable games in sports history,
Yes.
and certainly South Florida history. So the $1,500 would have evaporated by now, but as the MasterCard commercial said, the memory was worth a lifetime.
Priceless. It's priceless. But I think the two of you would have done different things. Your $1,500 probably would have gone through the windows right behind you.
Yeah,
Jesse probably would have invested in Apple. Jesse probably would have bought some Apple shares, which would be worth like $2 million by now.
Yeah,
So,
he
you
is.
know,
Might
it's-
have done it, but we went to the game, and it was unforgettable. And as you're talking about with your daughter, it was a father-son bonding moment that
Yep.
we will share till I go to my grave, and then you'll be able to tell that story long after I'm gone.
Yep.
Well, you know, that's the thing. Defo, he's going to tell the story.
Yeah, his grandkids.
But what about you, Tony? Did you used to take? I mean, you would always have to work, these big events. But did you get to share any kind of personal dad-daughter time with your?
Yeah, so
daughter?
we would actually when I was retired, and we would go to the Dolphins game, and we were invited to a box every week, and that she was so spoiled with that to get a seat next to impossible.
Yeah.
But we shared a with Joey and my daughter. We were in Chicago for a work thing, and we got seats to the White Sox game.
Oh, for
and
the
we-
World Series.
Yes.
Oh,
no,
wow.
and no, just the
okay.
regular season
Just a
game.
game. Okay.
Just a regular season, okay. But yeah, it's still nice to have those memories and.
Well, especially in Chicago, that
Yeah.
stadium's been around.
So
forever.
I got to tell on myself. Like I took my daughter. We went to a regular season Dolphins game. I forget the year. You'll remember the game. It was the game where they played the Patriots, and it was that crazy razzle dazzle play at the end. What was the guy?
Gronkowski was defending in the end zone.
What's his name? Avery, Seth Avery. What was the guy's name?
It wasn't Ronnie Brown.
No,
Was Ronnie Brown still on the team?
No,
No.
It wasn't with the Ronnie Brown era, but what was it? The play with the
What's his
Alabama
name?
running back. Oh, what's
Sean-
his name?
What was his name? The crazy.
He was. I'll have to look it up.
All right, I gotta look it up.
On the last play with
Yeah,
the Stanford
like,
10 thing.
The
And,
Patriots scored to go ahead. There was like 8 seconds left, or whatever. And
Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon
Drake.
Good
Was
call.
it
that's
was it
what
from
I-
scrimmage, like the 80-yard? Like
Kenyon Drake.
Were they at like the 20? I think they were at like the 20.
yeah, I think they got a.
I didn't watch it live, obviously. You know,
They
me,
got
I-
a touchback on a kickoff, and then all right. So there's like 8 seconds left, and me and her, we left our seats. We were
Oh,
up
okay.
upper
Yeah,
deck.
you're like me.
We started going out to the escalator, right? And all of a sudden we hear this roar, so we run back through the tunnel so you could go back, and
Hey, you
we
did the move around
we
the
saw
ramp?
the guy like run the last 5-10 yards into the end zone. So we didn't see the whole play. And I just looked at and I was like, this is why you never give up and never leave a stadium before it's over. Because it
There's
ain't
a
over.
rule in my house to never
Well, you
leave
guys
a
are crazy.
game
Yeah, you're
till
like my
it's
mom.
over. Over.
that's enough.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
that one.
I believe
So we
it.
did get to see the tail end of the greatest and wildest finish, one of the most wild endings in Dolphins history, but not the whole thing. And then we had to watch it on the replay. But all right, anyway, we got Joe Beja is going to come down. It's a big
Yes.
weekend there. We didn't even mention that, besides being Memorial Day weekend, but Sunday they're going to have one of their taste at the tracks, and it's going to be time for the martinis, paninis, and linguini, the Italian themed one. There are still tickets available. Joe's going to talk about that, and it's one of my favorites. What do you guys got in front of you? You got some meatballs there today? What's
We got a salad and
The Defo's blackened chicken. We did the chicken sandwich that we all seem to like, the grilled chicken sandwich with bacon and avocado on it. I got some truffle mac and cheese because we used to like that. And then their special, which we always love to get their their fresh catch, as they call it, is flounder with fingerling potatoes and carrots.
Flounder. That makes me think of Animal House. So,
This is not flounder.
Dean Wormer and Flounder. That was a great scene. All right, let's take our first break. Before we do, we'll talk about our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. We're going to be at the West Palm Beach location for the first time on Tuesday.
Nice.
And I think we're going to be doing it. Kevin, I think, is going to be out of the picture, but they have a great general manager up there. Justin will be showing us the virtues of Batch New Southern Kitchen in West Palm Beach on Tuesday, but you can check it out for yourself this whole holiday weekend because they're going to be doing their spectacular weekend brunches 3 days in a row, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Their brunch service with the bottomless drinks available, and that's at the Fort Lauderdale location. That's at 525 North Federal Highway, along with West Delray and the Delray Marketplace and Palm Beach on Clematis. Go out, have yourself some great biscuits, and of course, shrimp and grits. The whole brunch menu is a beautiful thing. You could also check out their burgers and sandwiches, and dinner time. They have all kinds of great entrees, that coffee rubbed steak, the iron steak, and they have a blackened redfish dish. That's great. They are known for their hospitality. You want to check it out for yourself this weekend. Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take that first break, and we'll come back with more from Gulfstream Park, Ten Palms, after these words. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to All right. I guess we're back on the lunchbox. Tony, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
May I recommend the soup for you? Because I don't want you breaking any more teeth. I don't want to have maybe no more solid food for you. But can I have to start bringing you some jars of Gerber's? No, I'm kidding. The feta cheese is very soft, right?
Yes.
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 He's fine. He's eating very well.
Has Defo fled the coop? I still see
Yes.
some of his Chardonnay.
Yes, we got him a
he
Chardonnay
left.
and he left. So
He
that'll
left.
be like, again, Elijah's cup.
Elijah. Yeah,
cup.
no, Defo had some other,
It's
I
like
guess,
really
important
highly, we
engagements.
just go from tracks.
And that's okay. So I was going to ask him what his big, plans were for the holiday weekend, but I imagine it involves like sitting in some slot machines or something.
You have to guess.
Tony, do you have any big plans for the holiday weekend?
No, I don't. We may go to the beach on Monday, but
Okay. Are you coming Sunday to the Paninis, England
I hope to,
Martinis?
yes.
Because
if my wife can't come, I will come.
all right, as long as I remain asymptomatic and COVID free, I am planning to come. I'm such a terrible person because obviously
You left Val alone all week.
Val is the one who's stricken, and she's been in bed for 3 days. She's miserable. She doesn't have any high fever. She's not, she's fine with breathing, but it's knocked her on her butt, and it's like she's just totally fatigued, sleepy, headache, sore throat, coughing. And so she's just gonna, bed rest, hydrate, and I'm gonna just leave her alone and go gamble and play poker tonight, and then I'm gonna go eat my face off on Sunday at the track. Again, if you want those taste at the track tickets, you go online to gulfstreampark.com. It's my favorite. I know I'm supposed to like them all, but Italian food is everybody's favorite food, right, Tony Segreto? And
It's the way of the world.
And
It's
they-
got to be Italian food.
I mean, because it's so comforting, and they do it right there at Gulfstream. He had a carpaccio that was high quality beef. They got all the kind of different, some pasta dishes, some pizzas, some meatballs, and some other thing. Joe's going to go over the full menu when he's here, but it's very reasonable. I believe it's they have the VIP tickets are $85 and the general admission are $75, and you get in at 12 if you get the VIP, so there's less crowds, you could get a table. It's a really fun time, and with the long holiday weekend here and the Panthers games on Saturday night and Monday night at the arena, I think Sunday is the perfect time to go out to Gulfstream, play a couple of races, and also mangiaro.
It is a fun time. It is so much fun. You get to see people, you get to meet them, and just a fun time. So
yeah,
get your tickets.
And get your tickets now, and then obviously in a couple of weeks they're going to be the Belmont Stakes will be conducted at Saratoga. It's the second straight year where they're going to be having the Belmont at the spa, but there'll be all kinds of good stuff going on at Gulfstream in conjunction with it, and could get your seats there at Ten Palms to watch the race later in the day with the live racing action, all kinds of things going on there. All right. Meanwhile, I guess I have to make a decision about which leftovers I'm going to go to the fridge and get for this after the second break, because I've got the lobster with the ginger scallion lobster from Juan's still sitting in the fridge.
Oh,
That
nice.
was from Wednesday's show. And then I've got
Yesterday too.
great stuff, that smoked turkey that we had at Fat Boy's Barbecue
Oh
with
boy.
Terrell. And man, that was a great show.
That was
That
really
turkey,
It was as moist turkey as I've had. Like it's interesting. I've never really had smoked turkey. Now I know why he does it, because the flavor was fantastic.
Oh my
You actually
God.
didn't even need to add the barbecue sauce or anything like that. Like just the meat itself was wonderful.
Yeah, it had wonderful smoke flavor, and I just kind of, as you saw during the show, I couldn't help myself. Just picked it up and started eating it like a
Well,
dog,
it's not new.
and that was good. Hey, some sad news just came across the transom. It says Billy Joel announces that he has a brain disorder and he cancels all his scheduled concerts. Piano Man, New York State of Mind. I don't know. He stopped doing those Madison Square Garden shows, but I think he still was had booked up some concerts. I know he plays at the Hard Rock in Hollywood from time to time. It says that he has a condition known as hydrocephalus, which has led to problems with hearing, vision, and balance. And we wish him well and hope that he gets the condition under control and someday is well enough to perform live again. But
That is, the more we hear about it, the more we hear about different people with maladies, we're hearing more and more about the brain.
76. He's 76 years old.
Yeah, but
And I think the moral of the story is don't get old. No, it's getting
no,
no. Betty Davis said it best. Getting old is not for sissies. It's
not. No, it's
and
for
I'm
party.
sure Tony, you've had your share of things, and Defo, I think the old adage should be changed. Instead of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. In Defoe's case, it's a glass or three of Chardonnay keeps the doctor away.
And a walk of life.
From the walk
Yeah,
of
it's
life.
sad because Billy Joel's always been one of my dad's favorite artists. We grew up listening to Piano Man, and I know some people have different things with Billy Joel. Some think he's a little schmaltzy. I've always, just because of osmosis, been a fan of his, and he's always been. When I know to be a decent man, I know he's had some issues with women in his past, but like you've always
Who hasn't? Oh,
well, especially when you're make the money he made. Like he hit it really big, and he was really smart with how he did stuff. And I think he owned his own music and stuff. So, but he's always been one I've heard to put on really great shows, and he has he has one of those like track lists of through history that's very much reminiscent of Elton John, where like, and the Beatles, that song, that song, that song. They've been in movies, they've been in TV shows, he's one of those guys that has been sort of like there throughout history. So it's sad to hear that news. And more and more we hear about people that we've known for years getting not only maladies but stuff with the brain, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, again, it consists of a buildup of spinal fluid in the brain, which causes pressure on nerves that control various parts of the body. This is from the New York Times story. And he's undergoing physical therapy and has been advised to refrain from performing during this recovery period. So it sounds like maybe he will be able to recover and perform again. Again, it's like I saw the most remarkable moment when I went and saw Pearl Jam up in Nashville a few weeks ago was a real highlight because they called out on stage Peter Frampton, obviously legendary guitarist who now lives in Nashville, as I learned. But he also has been stricken by a neurological condition that has really impaired his ability to stand and walk and balance. But sitting in a chair, he's still able to play the guitar as fluidly and as beautifully as ever.
That's impressive.
And he still goes out and does limited tours by himself. But he joined Pearl Jam for a song, the rendition of one of their hits, Black, and it was fantastic. And the crowd just went wild. So, it's nice to see people still being able to do what they love. And in the case of Peter Frampton, I know Peter Gabriel for a while was stricken with, he's obviously great drummer, and he was confined to also performing in a chair and doing. Oh no, I'm sorry, was it Phil Collins, right?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, not Peter Gabriel. Phil
Yeah.
Collins. I say go as long as you can, and
Enjoy it as much as you can.
if you can
Never know.
make it, God, the Rolling Stone. I was having a sick discussion the other day.
A sick discussion.
Yeah, sick discussion. Oh, because when Jim Irsay checked out, and we were wondering, and this was when Lubie joined me and some friends at the new restaurant Ukiah downtown Fort Lauderdale on the New River. Fantastic place. But Jim Irsay checked out, and then, of course, because we're sick individuals, we were wondering, I wonder if anybody had him in the Deadpool.
And he feels like a massive.
And Deadpools, of
and
course, are a sick
Deadpool-
thing. But the friends of mine that I was with, they mentioned the Deadpool, so I guess Deadpools are a thing among polite society that you wouldn't think.
It's gross, but
but you would say if somebody has Jim Irsay, and I know Defo has friends involved in one that gets up to tens of thousands of dollars. But not that we cheer for anybody's demise. But I flipped it on its head, Tony. I said, is there anybody else still alive that's shocking that they're still alive? And number one on pretty much everybody's list is a rocker. If I say the word Rolling Stones, who's alive that you think is just incredible that he's still alive?
No, it's Richards. I mean,
Keith Richards,
who's done so much drugs that it made him immune.
I thought when you said who set the record or something, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh no, yeah, he was known to at least live a clean life from what we know.
Yeah.
You're talking about people that have really pushed it.
Wait, Dick Van Dyke is still alive, right?
He's still alive, yeah.
Okay.
He's alive. I think he's
for a long time it was Fish.
Now,
Abe Vigoda, everybody would play that Dead or Alive game, and everybody thought Abe Vigoda was dead, but he was still alive. But now he actually is dead. Sorry to hear that.
Yes.
And he was in The Godfather, right? Was he Tessio? I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then in the world of sports, Tony, and this is macabre also, but somebody who's still alive that surprises me is John Daly, the golfer, because
John Daly is still alive, huh?
Yeah, he's still alive. I mean, God bless him. I love the guy, but he has not made the best life choices. And I don't know if he's drinking again or not.
He's still overweight, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, no, he's cleaned up his act a little, but I don't think he's gotten in shape at all.
Yeah.
But
hey, let's take our second break, and then Joe Beja will join us, and we'll do a contest too. But before we take that second break, another thing that you might want to think about for the holiday weekend is going to Delaware Chicken and Seafood Farm, picking up some of those great sausages. It was great to have you there over the last show on Tuesday. Tony, it's grill season. Grill season is here. Playoffs are going on. All kinds of big other sporting events this weekend. So going out to Delaware and pick up some burgers, sausages, chicken to throw on the grill. Of course, their famous fish and seafood, all that stuff.
Well, again, this is about party weekend, right? So you want to get stuff to put on the grill, but you also want to get stuff to keep your party combatants and party visitors busy. They have great dips. We love their dips. And
that buffalo.
Easy to put it right out there.
Buffalo chicken dip, and even the broasted chicken. And now they're offering delivery services for some of their items. All you do is go onto their website, DelawareChicken.com, hit on the tab that says prepared foods, and then you can actually place an order for either pickup or delivery.
Yep.
And they are making things more convenient because any way you want it, they will get it to you. Delaware Chicken and Seafood, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. They've been the home of freshness and quality for over 60 years. We love Delaware. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take that second of 3 breaks, and we'll come back with the contest and more from Ten Palms and parts unknown, actually, for after these words. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to bashsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and all right. We are back on the Lunchbox. Can anybody hear me? Can you see? I've got a big.
What the hell are you doing?
That is a big piece of smoked turkey from Fat Boy's Barbecue left over from yesterday. That I am now up to the lunch portion, and I'm dipping it in that great vinegary Carolina sauce.
It's a real deal barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I'm sorry I can't be there in person today. We've got Joe Beja in the house,
Man himself.
Executive Director of Hospitality.
And it looks like he has a menu.
All right.
He's already like salivating.
And I explained, I'm sorry I can't be there in person out of an abundance of caution, but I am COVID-free. I tested negative. And we wish everybody who still gets this disease, it's still a thing, speedy recovery to Val. But Joe, I notice you are not wearing your New York Knicks jersey today.
God, you're such a jerk.
Is there a reason, Joe?
The biggest.
Have you given up?
Victory.
Have you
No, I
given
haven't given up. Although I
Have you
just
given
think
up?
at this point it should all go to the Thunder because I don't think anyone's going to stop the Thunder.
That's sort of my
Okay.
I'd love for the Knicks to make the finals, but they're not going to have an answer for the Thunder.
Well, let me ask you this. Are they going to win a game?
Oh, the Knicks? Oh, of course.
In this series?
Yeah.
I'll take that action. I think they're done. I think they're more than done. I think when you lose a game like that, it's like in poker, when you get beat by like 2 1-outers in a row and you lose your whole stack, it's soul crushing. That's the way we describe it. And I know these are professional athletes. You have a sour look on your face, but
Yep.
do you think I just think that's a soul crushing defeat. And I don't see how they bounce back, but maybe they do win game 2 and it's a
They're
series.
professionals. They're playing in New York.
Something
they have
with
the
the
home
Garden. Something
crowd.
with
They
the
have the
Garden.
Garden. I think they bounce back tonight. I think they take one in Indiana, and then we'll see where it goes.
Wow. Okay. And you do
Absolutely.
realize that your team is coached by Tom Thibodeau, right?
Yeah, no, he's running them thin. I get it, but honestly, I don't expect the Pacers to have a player to go 6 for 6 on 3-pointers in 5 minutes again.
Yeah, Neesmith lost.
Yeah, but how about putting
that's
somebody in his
unconscious.
face? How about a little defense, especially when somebody's underneath the basket?
Sure.
An
Or
uncontested
how
layup.
about the goaltending call on Brunson when he drove to the basket in the final minute, or in the overtime, or how about the double dribble that Halliburton did before he made that final shot?
Now
Or
you
how
sound
about-
like
So
all right.
there's a lot
I
of things
didn't
that have to go to your way to come back like that. So
I didn't mean to rub it in too bad, but I am
definitely
rooting for
did.
the Knicks. I am a native New Yorker. I kind of grew up, rooting for them. But they're like the Dolphins now. It's like after 50 plus years, how much pain and misery can you take until you just turn on them? But
No, you don't turn on
I
anybody
don't know. Look,
you're a fan
look,
of.
I turn on people, Tony. I turn
know
on
that.
you have. You're like my dad when it comes to being a fan or being an observer. There's something about the Garden. Look, and I've been where I've been, and I do think that was a different kind. To lose like that's just tough. Whatever happened, it's still like if they just make a couple free throws, even with foul calls or dribbles or whatever. If you just make your free throws, the game's over. But
exactly.
Again, there's something about I don't know. I've always felt the Pacers were probably going to win this series. Just got like their depth, and I think Carlisle gets forgotten in a way that's sort of not fair. Like the guy's actually done a lot of winning, and it's the difference between him and Thibodeau. Like Thibodeau is really good at getting guys to go out there and play hard, but he's not great at the X's and O's, and he's not great at sort of the big moment things. And Carlisle actually is sort of under the radar, good at that. That being said, I think that game was rough. There's something about the Garden. There just is, and the Pacers are a young team.
I agree.
It's hard for me to think that the Knicks are going to lose both games at the Garden. That's just
all right. We'll see. We'll see.
I agree with Joe. The win tonight.
I think they will. I think they're going to win. I don't know, but I think they'll win tonight. Yeah.
I'm betting the house on a sweep, and I think both the Panthers and Pacers sweep.
He's so rough.
He's taking it to lunch.
Yeah, I mean, I would bet on a Panther sweep. I wouldn't bet on a Pacers.
Good. I'm rooting for that,
I think
Joe,
you have
because
the wrong P team.
There you go.
yeah, I'm going on Monday night. I bought that game 4 ticket right after game 1, not knowing there might be a sweep, but me and my daughter are going to be there, and I love this. This audience for the lunchbox, because Don Jaffe is chiming in because I told him I got seats in section 115. He goes, section 115 is right by the kosher hot dog guy and Mr. Softy ice cream. Hot dogs and serve ice cream. That sounds like a great night to me, win or lose. But before we get to game 4 with the Panthers on Monday, and then they got game 3 in Sunrise on Saturday, right in between, and this long holiday weekend, we have a beautiful activity. A meet in the middle of that Panther sandwich is going to be right there at Gulfstream Saturday, 3rd floor. Sunday. Sunday at Gulfstream.
Yeah, this time it's Sunday. Yep.
Sunday.
Usually the Taste of the Tracks are Saturday, but because of the holiday weekend, you're doing it on a Sunday. And the way it works out with all the playoff scheduling, I think it's a brilliant idea. Go on out for the martinis, paninis, and linguine this Sunday at Gulfstream, 3rd floor, Flamingo Room, Gulfstreampark.com. Get your tickets. And I assume tickets still remain, right, Joe?
Yes, tickets still available. Where, we've always maxed it out at about 350. Right now, we've sold about 265.
Nice.
So we'll pick up another 30 for
good.
the next couple of nights. So we'll probably be around 3.25, and we'll take a few walk-ins at the door. So we should be in good shape.
He's got the menu here.
Oh, I want to hear the menu, and I just want to let you know, even though Val is going to be on the sidelines, but I am negative and symptom-free. I will be there with bells on on Sunday at 12 because I can't wait to hear what you got in store. What is on the menu?
Well, it sounds like you're going to save me a wristband, but I'm counting on you eating for 2.
Honestly.
Yes.
So on the menu, we have just to stay with the rhyming, we have the panini and linguine. At the first table, there'll be arancini. So we have spinach and ricotta arancini
Oh my
with
God.
basil pesto,
Love it.
and we'll have a tomato and cucumber panzanella salad.
Oh, I love that.
Table number 2, I love a good panzanella salad. Table number 2 will be the beef carpaccio. We brought that back
That was
again
fantastic.
because that was very,
That
very
was it.
popular.
That was so good. I was so unexpected because I didn't know how you guys would pull off that carpaccio, and it was one of the best I've had anywhere.
That was fantastic.
And then also on that table will be porchetta with broccoli rabe and provolone.
It was really nice.
And table number 3 will be a chicken cutlet panini. So oven roasted
nice.
tomato, mozzarella, basil pesto. We're going to be having toasted ravioli with marinara also on that table. And then table number 4, we'll have the short rib ragu with gnocchi. And then we'll have a white bean soup with kale and a garlic crouton.
Cannellini. I love the white beans. Yeah.
And then the main table will be the Sunday gravy table. That'll be we're making the red sauce simmered, obviously, low and slow, with meatballs, Italian sausage, pork cutlets, and then served with your choice of penne or linguine.
Oh God! So that's like, I'm so there. I'm not going to eat all day
You better
tomorrow.
not get sick. You better not get
Well,
sick.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm keeping my distance and everything. I'll be a go definitely for Sunday. I love
Wear
that.
that Italian shirt you have,
Yes,
just
you should wear
in case you spill.
Italian restaurant.
That one is a little large on me now because that was in my XXL days. I'm
Good for you.
back down to almost going to be in an L soon, but I'm in the XLs. But I can bring that shirt, and
You have to wear the shirt.
I'll put it on my table as the tablecloth. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. And again, tickets, Gulfstreampark.com. What are the pricing? And the VIP is still available?
We still have VIP available at $85 per person, and
Right.
then the general admission is $60 per person. So we're going back to our summer pricing. I know we had some higher price during the winter meet and on big race days, but we're going back to our summer pricing. And tickets are available on www.gulfstreampark.com.
Right. And I don't know if you want to take my advice, but with the hockey and the Stanley Cup playoffs ongoing, I say we should rebrand it this time to Spumoni, Pepperoni, and Zambonis. But
There you go. I like that with the Zamboni. That'll be good.
all right. Now we'll keep it with the martinis, the linguinis, and paninis, and it's going to be a great time this Sunday. What else is upcoming, Joe, in terms of anything for Belmont Stakes Day and then later on Father's Day, of course?
We will have an enhanced buffet on Belmont Day featuring a lot of New York influenced foods and so forth. Chef has not finalized it just yet, but that'll be our next menu that he'll create. And then, of course, Father's Day will be heavily barbecue themed. On Father's Day brunch, it'll be $85 per person, just like we did for the mothers.
Yeah.
We'll have our big balloon display up front that we like to do for the step and repeats and for photo ops for all the families that come out. Menu will be very heavy barbecue food, drivens, ribs, and barbecue chicken and steaks and so forth. And then the $85 usually includes a mimosa, but since it's Father's Day, you will have the option to trade it in for a draft beer or an Old Forester Old Fashioned.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Forget the beer. Give me some bourbon.
Yes.
You know, you might want to do like, you do the barbecue and bourbon event. That's the B's.
Yep.
And we call it the 3 B's: bourbon, barbecue, and betting at the track.
Yes, that's a
all
party.
good. The dates again: June 7th will be the Belmont Stakes, a Saturday at Saratoga, which you could watch it there with the enhanced buffet at 10 Palms. And then June 15th is Father's Day this year, Sunday, June 15th. I'll be away in Portland, Oregon with my daughter, but I'll be there.
I'll be away too. Yes.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Makes
Ready for a contest, Joe?
I sure am.
Contest, oh, geez.
Yes, we haven't done the contest. We teased it the whole show. We made them wait. All right, you ready? It's time for this week's Lunchbox Gulfstream 10 Palms Sunday Brunch Giveaway. Email the answer to the restaurant trivia question, along with your horse selection for this week's Gulfstream Saturday contest race, which this week is going to be the 11th and final race on the card, and it's numbers 1 through 10. So, again, race 11, numbers 1 through 10, and this week's NBA playoff tiebreaker, which is going to be the winner and margin of Knicks-Pacers Game 3, not Game 2 tonight, because you don't have to get it in until tomorrow. That would be cheating. Knicks-Pacers Game 3 is taking place Sunday night. So those 3 components, you email it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, May 24th. The Gulfstream race is a $57,000 allowance optional claiming that's scheduled for a mile and a 16th on the turf. If it's taken off the turf because of rain, it goes to the all-weather track. And if you pick a horse that is scratched late, you will get the post-time favorite. And again, we want the tiebreakers, the winner and the point margin of Sunday's Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Pacers and the Knicks. It's going to be in Indianapolis, 8 p.m. Will be on TNT. If there's more than one contestant that has all three right, then we go to the tiebreaker on the next live Lunchbox show, which will be on Tuesday from Batch up in West Palm Beach. All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's go.
For this week's restaurant, we celebrate National Burger Day, which is coming up next Wednesday. Although I say National Burger Day really is Monday, Memorial Day, because everybody's out there grilling and throwing some burgers on the grill. But again, Wednesday, May 28th. Here are the clues. This local favorite has been around since 1972 with locations on Cypress Road in Pompano Beach and on Federal Highway in Oakland Park, although everybody calls that Fort Lauderdale location. And although you will find fresh ground burgers galore, you will not find any clowns springing out of a box. Okay. That's a little bit of a curveball.
I feel like everyone,
because that's an unrelated national chain. So there's no clown springing out of the box, but you'll find burgers galore. All right. Among its charms is a Fixins bar that has complimentary toppings, including condiments, pickles, onions, and jalapeno peppers. And our friend Burger Beast's favorite topping, a mustard relish that he calls delicious and hard to find. Do you have any idea which this place is, Joe?
Yes.
Even I
Okay,
know.
good.
I know.
All right. Well, this is an easy one.
Yeah.
And the third clue, as those who watch the Lunchbox regularly know, because we had it on, we broke the news last summer. The original founding family sold the stores recently to the same outfit that owns and runs Sicilian Oven, the very successful local Italian and pizza restaurant mini chain. So there you have it. Good luck. Send those things into MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, and you will be eligible for a brunch package for two at 10 Palms. And we do have a contest winner coming in this Sunday. So thank you.
You know what it is, Joe?
Yeah.
He's got it. Do you know what it is, Tony Segreto? All right. So there we go.
And you're by yourself, by the way. On the Knicks Pacers, no one believes they're going to get swept. So if you want to take bets, you're going to probably be a poor man because everyone's against you. The house.
I think they're a broken team right now. I think it is a soul.
I
just want to remind last year the Knicks went up 2-0.
Yeah.
And the Pacers came back and won the series. Granted, half the lineup got injured, but still.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks were all
decimated
last year. Right now, they're not. Right now, they're healthy, which is rare for the
So I see your point, but maybe I'm taking the good about it, as crushing as it was. That really the Knicks did dominate that game for 45 and a half minutes.
They did.
They choked in the final 2:45.
Well, what's funny is, as much as I give them
minutes.
crap, they actually, the one thing they've been good at is closing games out. That's the Thibodeau teams usually fall apart, but this team with Brunson and Hart, very tough guys, heart-minded guys, actually, as funny as a word as that is, that's what they are. They lead with their heart, those two guys. They're, quote-unquote, pardon my French, balls to the wall. And again, I hammer the Knicks, but as much as I give them crap, I've said that's one thing this team is actually, that's what was weird about that game to me. I stopped, my buddies start getting excited when the game's over, and I stopped watching because I thought it was done. Like I read, and the Panthers were on.
Never leave a game.
Well, because the Knicks are good at closing out. The Knicks, that's Brunson usually turns it on.
You can never count the Pacers out because they've done it to everybody. They did it to the Bucks in the first round.
And the Cavs,
Halliburton, the buzzer beater against the Cavs.
The Cavs one was worse. That's what's funny. As much as people want to call this a choke, it's more Neesmith just got really hot.
I mean, he was hitting a 3-pointer from the logo.
And the Cavs one was
really
more.
I mean, come on now.
The Cavs was more of a choke. Remember, the Cavs couldn't throw the ball in. Then they threw it right to the wrong team. Then they were breaking free throws and allowing offensive. They were breaking free throws and allowing the other team to get offensive rebounds on free throws too. Like this was less of a choke than that. I agree with Mayo. Normally, I would say, look, there's no shot, but I don't know. Look, this team is actually really tough. I'll give them that.
Let me ask.
I don't know if they win the series, but I think they win tonight.
I want to ask Joe two questions because I actually watched the whole thing. I know Lubie tuned in late because he thought the game was a foregone conclusion, but I actually watched the whole thing. At what point, Joe, did you say, "Uh-oh, this one might actually get away from us, because for me, it was when they chiseled it to single digits, when it was like 9 points. I was like,
Yeah, even
I can't believe it.
when it was down to 9 points with a minute left, and that guy was still catching fire.
You're like, shoot.
You know, I was like, man, if this guy does a Reggie Miller, that 9 points can happen like this.
Right.
And sure enough, Karl Anthony Towns makes one of 2 free throws.
free throws.
OG Anunoby
Yep.
makes one of 2 free throws. And I'm watching and I'm going, missed free throws are going to kill us.
Yep.
Right.
And this
And
time, they're missing
yeah.
free throws.
And
Tell
then-
me, was there a Knicks fan out there, whether watching on TV like yourself or anybody in Madison Square Garden, who immediately doesn't think back to the Reggie Miller
Oh,
game?
of
and
course.
said,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Oh,
Of
no,
no.
course. I was
Reggie
living in New
Miller.
York City at that
Oh,
time.
really?
So with the
Jeez.
Reggie Miller thing, I'll actually tell you
God.
a quick funny story if we got time before
Yeah,
break.
we
Is that
gotta go for it.
I was working as the room service manager at the Four Seasons New York back in '99,
Oh, wow.
and the Knicks were unfortunately without Patrick Ewing because of the injury, but they were
They
playing the
made
Spurs.
finals run.
They were playing the Spurs in that shortened season.
Yep.
The Spurs were staying at our hotel, and my boss turned to me and he goes,
God,
"Listen,
Joe.
I know you work the day shift, but if the Spurs win tonight game, they want to have a party in the lobby, and you're gonna have to cater it with your
Oh,
team."
no way. And you're
So
a
I
lifelong
I
Knicks
went
fan.
home. I watched Game 5.
Oh, no.
I
That's a
watched the
professional.
Spurs win
Yeah,
the
they won
game.
very
I got
easily,
back in my car. I drove into New York City
Oh,
and proceeded to serve
You're to watch
Robert
them celebrate.
Horry, and
Oh,
I
my
serve
God.
all those
Oh,
guys
no.
Oh my
bottles of
God! And at that
Dom
point, it's too late
and
to spike the
wings.
punch with something that's
Yeah.
going to make him sick,
Oh,
because there's no
no.
more games. But
Yes.
you're a true pro there, Joe.
Good for
That's
you.
very
But
I
Wow.
did. I mean, Pop was a nice guy, and David Robinson was very polite.
You know, you're this
You're a
class A
mensch,
guy.
because I wouldn't have done that.
Robert Horry, I wanted to hit over the head with the bottle.
He's a
He
jerk
kept waving like a bone of a chicken wing at me, saying, "Bring me more, bring me more."
Oh,
Not
get
even
outta
saying
here.
please or nothing like that. And I'm like,
Dude, I don't
Oh,
want to be
man.
here.
So-
I'm glad you're able to put your fandom aside for the sake of professionalism. Me, I'm not like that, because I was a sports writer, and I was one of the original beat writers from the Panthers' first season. And me and Dave Joseph, who now, of course, is there at Gulfstream Park, is vice president of, I guess, communications. But me and Dave were the beat writers, and the original broadcast team for the Panthers, Dennis Potvin, former New
Legend.
York Islander
Oh,
great,
He's an icon.
was their color analyst on TV. And in one of the, first meetings, we were like riding up in an elevator together in the arena, the old Miami arena. And I just looked at him. I said, "Dennis Potvin." I just looked at him. I said, "I hated you growing up."
Oh, you're a Ranger guy, yeah.
Yeah, I was a total
Yeah.
Ranger guy. And he didn't look too pleased when I told him.
Yeah.
Eventually won him over with my charms. So anyway, Joe, we wish you a much
Yes.
success this weekend. Another big
you.
weekend of great live racing. 10 Palms open every day that there's live racing at Gulfstream. Now Thursday through Sunday through the Royal Palm Meet. You guys are off and dark on Monday, the holiday itself, correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so racing today, Saturday, and Sunday, and the big Italian-themed martinis, panini, and linguine event on Sunday. A few tickets remain, so go get them now. Gulfstreampark.com. It's going to be a great time. So, Joe, thank you for as
Thank you.
usual. And good luck to the Knicks. I want to see them make it a series, but
I think it'll
Yeah.
be a series.
I think
that's
it's gonna go
be a
6
tough
or
series.
7.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough
I'm not
series.
confident 100% in my Knicks after losing that game
But-
one, but
Well, they'll win a couple games.
I
I
think
think
they
it's
win
going to go
tonight.
6 or 7.
I think that let's take one game at a time. They win
That's good.
tonight.
All right, let's take that third and final break, and then we'll come back and wrap up this week on the Lunchbox after these words. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m. Indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a all right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Tony, can you hear me?
Yes,
I
like, why do you
can.
keep doing that?
Oh no, because I can't. I know
It's
sometimes
here.
I have to wait till you hit the button. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Lubie.
we're
I
here.
know you got to go. I gotta just put out a thank you. You just played the Shenanigans spot,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's where I watched game 2 last night
Well,
with
that
some
place must be
friends.
bad house.
My buddy and my brother Burl showed up, and my buddy
Nice.
Poker Dan, not restaurant Poker Dan, but the other Poker Dan.
Yeah.
But thank you to Pat Utter. He kind of set us up. Great crowd in there. I had the Shack and Grilled wings, which is like the
Those are
black and
great.
gold rings, except in this special sauce that has like red pepper flakes and some honey. So it's got the heat and the sweet and some
Yep, yep.
scallions. They were fantastic. I mean, they have the best wings around town. Shenanigans has been there
And
for a
they're
long
big.
time,
They're
and is
big
Yeah, they're
wings.
nice wings. Yep.
and they're hearty, meaty, and then we ended up splitting a nice fish. He says friends don't let friends eat frozen fish, and the mahi that he gets in there, we did it in
Really?
entree fashion. First time I've ever had it, mahi francese. So, like Tony, you would appreciate it. Lightly,
that's nice.
lightly coated with the flour and the nice sauce,
Oh
the
my
lemon
God.
butter sauce with broccoli
Okay.
and a sweet potato. We were very healthy.
That's very
last
healthy.
night.
Wow, look at you.
And everything was fantastic. The crowd was great, and I was drinking my club soda. I
Oh,
had
God, they
one
must
beer.
have bombed. With the Panthers winning like that, you can just enjoy a game. You don't have to stress out. So you just drink.
Oh, it was great. It was- again, they were so impressive in that first period, and then when the goal was taken away, it was just lights out.
Well, and we're gonna go, but that's something I talked about with Devo this morning. What's interesting to me, and the Panthers have sort of in the past, what's different this year is when they've gotten out to leads, it's not automatic, right? Like they sort of let up a little bit. What's impressive, and I don't know if it's they smell blood in the water with the Hurricanes, but like when they get out to these leads, instead of just saying, okay, we're going to pace it.
Yeah.
No. I think they got actually more aggressive in the second and third.
Yeah,
period.
it's a cliche, but they have found another gear and they are just like full throttle now. And it's
but they have found that gear right now.
and it's nice when Bobrovsky holds up and makes some big saves. That's when they become unstoppable. And they just played an airtight game in the third period. It was beautiful to watch. And they just don't take the bait. You know that the Hurricanes are going to be trying to goad them into certain things. And that's why last night I mixed it up. I got rid of that danky, smelly shirt finally, and I wore my Kachuk around and find out t-shirt last night, and I'm wearing it now today, unwashed. This might be my new thing because they were very impressive. And again,
are you going to wear that playoff?
I'll wear that shirt to the game on Monday night, particularly if
you're not going to wear it Sunday though.
Well, there's a game tomorrow night. I'm going to stick with the Kachuk shirt for game 3 and then go back to the other one. I know this is very intricate, and it is exactly the reason why the Panthers are rolling it because of my superstitions. I actually put up something on my own personal Facebook page with my weak playoff beard, and I sent it out to the crowd of my friends and saying, my daughter calls it weak. I say it's weak but distinguished. And I'm saying, what should I root for the Panthers to lose as soon as possible so I could shave again? Or can you bear?
You haven't shaven either?
No, that's the thing.
No, this is why you see these weak whiskers sprouting. And I've had some good comments. My friend Dan Cook, who's on the Let's Eat group, said he compared me to Wham and George Michael. He said,
oh my God.
I have the kind of same.
You are not George Michael.
No, thank God for that.
I love you, Mike. I love you to death.
No,
you're not George Michael.
I'm not George Michael in many ways, thank goodness.
Yes.
But no, some of the other comments was that it does look distinguished. And then somebody posted a GIF of ZZ Top, and somebody says, "I want you to look like Santa." That means we won again. And then our friend Andy Cagnetta chimed in, what I think was the best Panthers. Go Panthers! May they be stronger than your beard.
Yes, he's right.
All right, Lubie, I'll let you go. Tony, have a great weekend. I hope to see everybody Sunday out at Gulfstream for the Taste at the Track. Until then, enjoy every sandwich.